Something that's been coming up in my coaching practice recently is money. How do we manage our money? And I think the starting point is for all of you who are not yet retired to go to your monthly budgets. I know a high percentage of people don't do a monthly budget. I have never stuck religiously to one, but I've tried to keep myself within the boundaries of my income. I manage it fairly haphazardly, so the last week of the month is sometimes a little bit of scraping by and going to the pantry to see what's left for food. But I do have a clear idea of how much I'm spending each month. So I would like to ask you to look first at what you're spending on a monthly basis and categorize it into different blocks. What is essential, like your utilities, your electricity, your water, your municipal rates, insurance maybe for your house, petrol for your car. Those are the essentials. And are you using too much petrol or gas for your car? Could you cut back on that? Could you walk to the corner store if you need something and just avoid clocking up the mileage in the car? So there's a category of monthly essentials that have to come off. Then there's food, which we can look at stopping in the supermarket and saying, am I buying the most cost-effective one? I found quite often, and it's difficult for me because I live on my own, that the bigger packages are often much cheaper per kilo. And so it's worth stopping and looking at those and seeing that you're not buying simply your favorite brand, and when you think about it, you're not sure why it's your favorite brand. Is it perhaps the most cost-effective brand? So going through your food budget very carefully and seeing if you're overspending there. And then there's sort of discretionary things like gym memberships and clothing and cosmetics, grooming, those extra costs. And it's also important to go through all of those and check that they're all essential. And for some people they are essential, some people they're more important than others. So go through those carefully and try and map out what you can comfortably live on, but not extravagantly. Then, if you haven't done so already, contact your financial advisor or your HR department in work and find out what your income can be in retirement. And that's where we start to look to see if there is a shortfall. And if there's a shortfall, you know that you're going to have to look for projects or a little bit of work to prop that up. But if you're comfortably covering your living costs, that's great. But don't forget to make sure you have a bit of an emergency fund for the day the refrigerator packs in. They don't last the way they did in our youth. They sort of have a 10-year lifespan now. The day there's a leak in the roof, or you need to rewire something in your house, or the lawnmower breaks. Those kinds of things you need to build up a side fund for those so they're not a calamity if they happen in a tightly run budget. So it's very important to know what your expenses are going to be and what your income is going to be. Another thing that caught me when I was trying to pare back on my monthly expenses is I went through my life insurances and my medical aid and those kinds of things, and there I found something called a professional disability, and I thought, I'm no longer practicing professionally. Is this still valid? And as soon as I contacted my broker, I wouldn't have been able to claim against it, but the insurance company's never going to tell you that while you're paying premiums. So go through it really carefully, and with your household insurance, maybe it's time to have a meeting with your broker, get them to come and have a look at your house and see, are you paying the most cost effective? I'm not asking you to go for the cheapest. I'm asking you to look if you're paying the most cost effective. In the line of insurance, the really cheap ones, the small print has to be read because there's so many things they won't cover that they're actually not cost effective. So that's what I wanted to do in terms of budgeting. I know that I write a lot about the fact that I have sufficient funds coming in from retirement to live a very simple existence. But I work because I want a little bit more than a simple existence. I want to be able to put new plants in my garden, and I want to be able to develop vegetable gardens, put irrigation systems in. I want to go on holiday when this COVID nonsense lets us go on holiday. And I want to be able to go out and eat and entertain my friends. So I need to have that extra income for luxuries. And so I know vaguely what I want to earn per month. And then going into retirement, if you know how much you need to earn, and let's just do a ballpark figure. Say your costs are 20,000 Rand a month. Your income is going to be 10,000 Rand a month from your various pension sources. So you have a shortfall of 10,000. You need to then take that 10,000 and say, what am I worth per hour? So for coaching, I charge 500 Rand a session. So if I'm trying to earn 10,000 Rand a month, I only need to do 20 coaching sessions a month. So that means I need to work 20 hours plus the preparation and my professional development time and my marketing time. So it's much more manageable than trying to work for a full-time income. It's that mindset of I'm not working to cover all my costs, the 20,000. I'm working simply for the 10,000 that I know I need. And then I can break that down into how many hours a week, how many hours a month I need to work. It enabled me, in fact, because I know exactly how much I want to work for, and enabled me to go to the local NGO here in the small village where I live and say, I'd like to help you, and I'd also like some income. And the gentleman I spoke to, explained that they don't pay very well, but for me, it was half of what I need, even though it's not very well paid. And so it was easy for me to make that decision to do something that has a philanthropic component as well as a small income component. So I really would urge you to go and look at your monthly budget, see where you can pare it down, and don't forget that lovely little thing for pensioners discounts. A lot of the supermarkets have days in which you either get double points in their loyalty system or you get discounts. And you need to find out what those are, because they do add up. They're very useful. I remember so clearly, I was about 58 and running my own business, and I went into the local builder's hardware, and the woman at the teller said, "Are you a pensioner?" And I was horrified. I was mortified. I was 58, and yes, maybe I was graying a little bit. But now I go into the same builder's hardware and I say, Tuesdays, don't forget my pensioners discount. I have no shame about it, because those 10% do add up. And if you're going to make a major hardware purchase, save it up for Pensioners Day and you get 10% off without any qualms. So follow the loyalty cards, see where the pensioners have better prices and better discounts, better loyalties, and cut your costs in some little way. So in summary, look at your budget and what you're spending on per month and get critical. Are you being extravagant? Are you losing touch with how much you're spending? And then go through things like insurances and check that you're not over-insured, and perhaps you can cut back. And subscriptions, ones that you don't use. I know I have a Netflix subscription, and every month that I don't bother to watch something on it, I feel a bit guilty. But then other months I binge, and so I get my money's worth. Your satellite television, are you using it to its maximum? Does it warrant the level at which you're at? And then find out what your potential income is going to be in retirement. Many people get a huge shock when they go to their HR departments at work and discover what they can expect from their pension. For example, I had a retirement annuity on the side that I was using as a tax dodge. I started it quite late in life, And by the time I turned 60, 65, it was worth about R1 million. And I, last year, when I was building my house, decided to cash that in and take the 40% that you get tax-free and then go on to a monthly income. But you know what my monthly income is from that R1 million? It's 3,000 Rand a month. It's not a lot of money. So if you think you've been putting away a retirement annuity for many years, just check what the income is going to be. I hope you're not too horrified, because it feels that burden of putting it away each month. You feel you're going to amass an absolute fortune, but I'm afraid you don't. So it's very important for you before you retire to find out what your income is, and so that you can plan for it and see what you need to make up. Good luck with that.